Good afternoon, my Real News Media TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this afternoon, Skelly Beng asked for a report on alleged theft of US $100,000 in jewelry at NMIA. The Norman Manley International Airport is asking dancehall artist Skelly Beng to file an official report of his allegation that US $100,000 worth of jewelry was stolen from him at the facility. We are not aware of any reports made at the airport about the stolen jewelry, a spokesperson for PAC Kingston Airport Limited, the operators of the facility, said on Thursday. The statement follows the claims by Skelly Beng, whose given name is Emma Warmington. The person will take out my 100k USD water jewelry at NMIA before it go on the airplane. Damn me and save yourself, he wrote in a post on the social media site Instagram. Limited time frame. Everybody on duty knows who was responsible for searching the bags, so don't make this hard, he said. He did not state when the jewelry was allegedly stolen. However, the PAC spokesperson said a formal report is needed before any action can be taken. There needs to be a report to the police or to the airline he flew with. Maybe someone needs to reach out to him and ask him to do that. We cannot do anything without a formal report, the official said. When there is a formal report, then all the relevant persons in the airport are made aware and there is an investigation by the police or the airline. Cops cut down 2 top-tier gangsters in St. James. 2 of St. James's most feared gangsters were killed within 24 hours in separate incidents this week. They have been identified as Colin Uncock Walters, an enforcer from the notorious 13th Street Gang, which is based in Tucker, near Montego Bay, and Akeem Rizla Brown, the leader of Dump Gang, which is based in retirement. We are urging all the wanted men across the parish to turn themselves into the police, as we are taking a zero-tolerance approach against the lawlessness, Senior Superintendent Aaron Samuels, the police commander for St. James, said at a press conference shortly after Walters' demise on Wednesday. Since the start of the year, the division has seized 42 firearms and 822 assorted rounds of ammunition, and we will continue to be relentless in our efforts to rid the streets of these illegal weapons and the persons who are firing them, added Samuels. According to reports, Walters, who was implicated in Tuesday night's gunslaying of 28-year-old Nigel Smith in Red Square, Tucker, was tracked to a guest house in Montego Bay shortly after 2:30 p.m. on Wednesday. He reportedly challenged the police, and during an exchange of gunfire, he was killed. A Browning single-action pistol with 3 live rounds in its magazine was seized in the aftermath. Smith, who resided in Tucker, was reportedly killed as an act of reprisal for the killing of Marlon Cash Money Medley and Durant Burke, 2 top gangsters from the 13th Street Gang, who were reportedly killed in Chuluani on May 25 by members of the Tucker Street Gang. Both gangs are locked in a murderous feud. Brown, who the police said was heavily linked to lottery scamming and the trading in and hiring of illegal firearms, reportedly engaged the police in a gunfight after he was cornered at a location in retirement on Thursday night. At the time of his death, Brown, who is said to have recruited and groomed the former St. James' most wanted man, Nestor Zadok Gallimore, had a case for possession of a prohibited weapon before the Western Regional Gun Court. However, he reportedly absconded after being offered bail. His influence in the criminal underworld was said to be quite strong, as in addition to running his gang, he reportedly held sway over several other notorious criminal organizations across western Jamaica. Keith Clark's daughter denies that dad brought doodles and gunmen to house. Brittany Clark, the daughter of slain accountant Keith Clark, on Thursday refuted a suggestion that her father, who was shot on May 27, 2010, by members of the security forces, endangered his family by harboring then-fugitive Christopher Doodles Coke and the 7 of his henchmen at the family house at the Kirkland Close in Red Hill, St. Andrew. At the time, a manhunt was launched to nab Coke, who was wanted in the United States on guns and weapons charges. He was eventually captured and extradited to the U.S., where he is currently serving a 23-year sentence in a federal prison. Clark, who is the second witness in the trial of 3 Jamaica Defensive Force soldiers charged with murder in relation to the death of her father, denied the suggestion by King's counsel Valerie Nita Robertson that Dudus and other criminals were hiding inside the family house at her father's invitation. Nita Robertson is representing Lance Corporal Greg Tinglin, who is one of the 3 soldiers on trial. The other 2 soldiers are Lance Corporal Odell Buckley and the Private Arnold Henry. The attorney made the stinging suggestion to the witness after she told the lawyer that she is still seeking answers that could explain why her father was shot more than 20 times, including in the back. Your father exposed you and your mother to criminals who he hid in his house. You ask for an explanation. So that is it, Nita Robertson said. Clark responded that that was absolutely far from the truth and urged Nita Robertson to speak the truth. Nita Robertson prompted Clark to say whether she had knowledge of any criminals being outside the family house while the operation by the security forces was unfolding. I don't know what occurred outside of the house. The house was being attacked and I was trying to survive. That was my #1 priority. At no point did I say I was outside, Clark replied. Nita Robertson again suggested to the witness that the criminals had been hiding inside her house, particularly in the basement. However, Clark told the attorney that she needed to provide facts and not just make suggestions. Madam, I gave you facts on Wednesday, Nita Robertson shot back, explaining to the witness that she had raised the point previously about unmatched blood that had been found in 2 different places inside the house. Clark responded that what Nita Robertson had suggested was impossible. The attorney suggested to the witness that she never knew who was in her basement because she went to bed after taking a bubble bath. Clark replied that she definitely knew who was in her house because the place had been locked up. She added that the soldiers had to cut off grills to enter the house, stating that alone was proof that nobody had been inside the house with the family. Nita Robertson responded, so when persons are in the basement, having been let inside to hide so that the police and soldiers cannot see them, you expect that they would leave the doors open? In other words, your answer is a silly answer. If men are in your house, they would lock the doors, so that means the police would have to break them down. I am suggesting to you that the police and soldiers were at your premises because Dudus and gunmen were at your house. I am going to suggest to you that gunmen were seen outside your house at the back and that those men fired at the military helicopter, Nita Robertson said. I wasn't outside. That doesn't have anything to do with me, Clark responded. Could you just stop this? Madam, speak the truth. What I know is that no one else was in my house at the time apart from my family. PNP's Paul Patmore laments a long wait to elect a new Chuluani Southern MP. The People's National Party representative for Chuluani Southern is criticizing the government for not moving to ensure that a new member of parliament is elected 8 months after Marisa Dalrymple-Philibert resigned. In 2019, sitting MP Dr. Linval Bloomfield died in February and a by-election was called in April of the same year, said Paul Patmore. Why is South Chuluani treated with such a disrespect by the governing party? Hugh Dixon, a resident in the constituency, argued that this lack of representation is a constitutional breach. The JLP's Dalrymple-Philibert resigned both as a Speaker of the House of Representatives and as MP in September 2023 after the Integrity Commission brought corruption-related charges against her. Prime Minister Andrew Holness, who has the authority to call the election, has not given any indication when he will do so and whether one will be held before parliamentary elections due by September 2025. Earlier Thursday, PNP General Secretary Dr. Dayton Campbell announced Patmore as the party's representative at a meeting of the constituency executive. Patmore is returning to the political field after serving as an independent councillor for the Lorimer's division in the Chuluani Municipal Corporation between 2008 and 2012. Guys, thank you for watching. See you this evening at 6 p.m. for another news update.